Okay, in this video we're going to walk you through how you can use attendance record as a way to track your clients' training statuses and how you may be able to retain them based on how frequently they're training and making sure you don't let clients slip through the cracks, that they may not be training as frequently as possible. So often we get asked, how do we make sure that we can retain our clients? And what we tend to find that the metrics that we look at is often how often they are training, and we find that if they're not able to train at a certain level, they tend to be the one that is slipping past. And you want to make sure you contact them within a 7 days or 14-day period, depending on what your SOP looks like in your business, and you can contact them to make sure they feel welcome and they feel like they are being cared for and taking notice that what's happening. And when you have a big group of people that you're monitoring, it's a lot easier when you have a system in place. So what I'm showing you here at the moment is that we have a workflow that's been set up based on number of attendance. And we've got a couple of things in here at the moment is that we are looking at a weekly tracker or maybe a fortnightly tracker if you want to do it that way. We have a weekly tracker based on attendance. So we have a specific field we've got set up inside ACR based on when they have actually attended a class. So let's say the moment they have come to a class, because it's automatically tracked inside ACR, the moment they are marked as attendant, we are now going to add a change to their weekly attendance number. So don't forget it's a 7-day period. So the moment that number has changed in the number of attendance, they also automatically add them into the number of attendance workflow here, and it's now going to wait for 7 days in this period. So don't forget, during that period, if they attended once, that number is going to go to 1. Let's say they come through the next day as a second time, they've done 2 sessions and 3 sessions. This will then automatically add an extra number to the weekly attendance number. So by the end of 7 days, they may have come only 2 times. It would then go to the next part of the workflow to say, okay, how often have I attended in the last 7-day period? It would then go through this workflow and say, yep, they have attended under 3, and we are now going to, based on that weekly attendance number, which is updated over here, okay, by their checking into the platform, it will then check to see if it's under 3. Then it will then send them a quick message saying, hey, you haven't been, how are you going with your training? You have noticed you haven't been coming as often in the last week. So this is a great way of you making sure that anyone who's training less than 3 times over the 7-day period, you can put it into either an SMS, or you can put it into a pipeline for your members, for your manager or for your trainers to contact as part of your process. But at the end of every 7 days, what's going to happen is at the moment you go through this message, it's going to clear that weekly attendance number. Then it'll start back from 0 again and looking at what their training record is like for the next 7-day period. Now, if you don't use Zoda, then that's perfectly okay. You can also use within ACR, we've got a QR code system where they can actually create a form, like an attendance form, maybe like an iPad, or something like that. They can actually just simply submit a form as part of the initial entry to the gym, and that will actually add that number to the number of attendance. Now, we're always making sure the number of attendance is accumulative because you want to see how often they're attending. The only thing we're doing differently here is that every time they attend a class, we're now putting them into a 7-day wait window to check how often they have attended in that 7-day window period. So that's how you can track attendance based on a QR code or based on an integration you may have with a CRM. In our case, you're using Zoda to ACR, and that is going to help you to maintain a good connection with your clients and seeing exactly where everything is at when it comes to a client's training habits in your studio.